What's up, everybody? It is Rayshawn and Hugen. We are back. Okay. We are the Unscripted Real Artist. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the current state of the writer's strike and,
Semi-current, because it depends on when this video comes out.
right, um, sometime soon. But yeah, let's get into it.
Alright, so, Stephen Amell, star of, Arrow, among other things. I know that he's in another show, I think it's on Prime, I'm not even 100% sure. But anyway, recently went
It don't even
viral.
really matter.
Why? Because he was at a convention during the strike, and he decided that he
Hmm.
was going to say that, come out his mouth and say, oh, I didn't support it, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And pretty much just like, so he's basically going essentially balls to the walls, no holds barred, and was like, oh, I'm not picketing, I'm not doing this, da 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 da, and was continuing to promote his current show. I'm not even sure what the name of the show is. Don't at me. Um, but yeah, and then he was then forced to backtrack, and we saw him on the picket line with a shirt and thing because he said that he didn't vote for the strike. And I'm just over here like, why would you say, number one, why would you say this at a convention where everyone, literally
Right.
everyone, is recording? They showed
Hmm.
they showed the receipts, they had the Carfax, they was like, here mofo, here it is in 4K, we got you on camera, smile, you're on candid camera.
Hmm.
And then and then of course he had to backtrack and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be on the strike lines and whatever, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, um yeah, my dude, you kind of screwed yourself because people, and the irony of it is that he plays the Green Arrow, who is definitely a character who is here for striking, because he was saying that he was, him personally, Stephen Amell, uh, or, was saying that he personally does not feel like striking is an effective form of negotiation. As I was saying before that brief interruption, I already lost my train of thought. What was I saying, Ray? I was saying that he
I don't
plays.
know, because she threw me off too. I was trying to intently listen to what you said.
Anyway, he plays a billionaire, the Green Arrow, right? Green Arrow. He's a hippie. In the comics, he's a hippie. I haven't read the comics, but even I know that he's kind of a hippie.
Mm,
He was not here for, in one of the original runs of the Green Arrow comics. He was like protesting against like nuclear war or something or the other, something like that. He's a
right,
very political character,
right.
right? Even though he's, a billionaire. It's just so ironic that he's going off about this. Oh, that's what it was. He was saying that it's not an effective form of negotiation. That's what he was saying. That's where I was at. So
Mm,
Stephen Amell said that he feels that striking is not an effective form of negotiation, and I'm just like, did you miss out on that history lesson, dude? Because like, I believe it was the 70s, 60s, 70s ish, where Muggs was striking. Unions were striking for better pay, better working conditions, so on and so forth. Like, were you paying attention in history class, my guy? Because if it were not for strikes in the past, in history, we would not have 8-hour workdays. We would not have 7-day workdays. I mean, 5-day workdays. All of those things were accomplished through striking. So, I mean,
but this is also coming from somebody that does not look like you or I.
and I mean, fair point. However, there are plenty of people that don't look like us that are on the picket line that are speaking out about the whole situation.
Yeah,
The
but it's
problem comes the issue is that for whatever reason he feels entitled in some way,
that's
shape,
what
or
I was going
form,
to say. Hmm.
and entitlement is not. Let's keep it 100. Entitlement, that feeling of entitlement, is not just limited to people of a certain demographic. Let's be
Yeah, I
real.
know. I was gonna add more on to that, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry. Um, because literally anybody can
But
feel
it is,
entitled to those
yeah, but
you
but
know.
it is kind of like you trying to put yourself on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. And a hyperinflated
it's just
ego, perhaps.
yeah, it's just like you don't you want to be for the people. You say you want to, your character says that you are for the people, but in reality, of course, we know you're not for the people.
Right.
Somebody, because he was protesting and he was wearing the shirt and he was holding the sign, doesn't mean that he's really here for it because he done already spoke his truth. You know what I'm saying?
And was
You
caught
done
in
already
4K
spoke your
speaking
truth.
his truth. And that's why people are like, oh
But
yeah, he's canceled. He's totally canceled.
right,
And I'm just
right.
like, and
But
I'm over
I
here
think,
like, and I was very much Tyra Banks. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Like I liked him
see,
as a actor and as a character and his how he portrayed Green Arrow. But this is like now I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
see, with a lot of with a lot of hold on.
Back to the
So the strike.
let's get back to the strike.
So my whole thing with the strike is that old boy had the audacity to be like, all right, I'm out here. Now you guys can shut up. It was almost like his manager and his agent was just like, oh nah, we finna
And
jump him
publicist.
and get him outside.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We
It's
gonna
like
jump him
we gotta
and
fix
get
this
him out here.
situation and fix his
Right. And
image or whatever. And it's just like I'm
right.
personally I'm here for anybody um not adhering to this whole image thing because if you're gonna be yourself, just be
Mm,
yourself.
be
Because
yourself.
I know me. If I were to end up in the industry, I'm gonna just be myself 100%.
Of course.
However, comma, I'm not gonna go out of my way to be a butthole.
That.
Okay, I'm not gonna allow XYZ and my perception, my egotistical perception of myself to influence how I'm thinking and feeling about certain particular topics. In this particular case,
Right.
he feels it could potentially be that in a person in this situation, right, with the level of notoriety that he has, who is in SAG, might very well feel entitled. Like this doesn't affect me. Why do I need to participate? Right? Why do I need to go along with this whole
Mm-hmm.
thing about with the unions and stuff? Which in essence means that you fundamentally don't understand the purpose of a union in general anyway. Because the whole
Or
point
you
of a
just
union is
really
a
don't
bunch
care.
of people. Right? Of course, you really don't give a damn about anyone else other than yourself. It's a very narcissistic kind of
Mm,
perspective, right? Um, but again, you clearly don't understand the essence of being in a union in the first place, and you shouldn't even be bothered to be a part of it because what's the point? You're wasting at that point. You're clearly wasting your money. You're wasting your time paying union dues because you don't even believe in the purpose of what a union is for. Because the whole purpose of the
right.
union is to for all of those people within that industry, whether it be education, whether it be like the whole UPS Teamsters thing, whether it be hotels, whatever industry that that union stands for. The whole idea behind it is everybody standing together within that's in that industry and a part of that union, standing together to make work environments and work just everything surrounding those professions within that industry make those conditions better. whether that be pay, benefits, whatever stipulations that they choose to include in those agreements. That's the whole purpose of the union, right?
Right.
Rather than one singular person going up to the boss and being like, "Oh, I want a pay raise." You have some little guy. You have no power. You have no
Right.
means to be like, "Okay, they have to do this for me." You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like that scene from A Bug's Life, right? Where the main character is stands up to the grasshoppers, but he gets his butt handed to him, right? He has no
Yeah.
power. But when all the ants came together to fight the grasshoppers, there's more power in a group of people than one person. That's the whole idea of a union. So if you're not standing with the union and you're a part of the union, like what are you doing? Are you high? Like what are you smoking, bro?
Right.
Because you must be smoking the highest form of crack. Because like
Right.
you think you have enough power and prestige to go against an entire corporation on your own. Because
I mean,
at the
that's
end
what
of the
they be
day, it could
thinking.
be you next on the chopping block.
Hello. But they
Doesn't
don't ever
because
think that it will
anybody,
be.
and that's that level of entitlement. That's a level of egoism that a lot of people have, not just in the entertainment industry, but just in general. A lot of people have that really
Yeah.
egotistical, really narcissistic worldview and entitled worldview where, oh, this happened to XYZ person, it could never happen to me.
Mm.
And it can happen to literally anybody. It can happen to literally
They don't care
anybody.
if you're
As
the best at the job. They will get rid of you in a heartbeat and find someone
exactly.
in less than 24 hours to fill your
And they will
shoes.
exactly, regardless of the industry, they will replace
Hello.
you at a moment's notice. They don't have to give you, especially in some of these states where they don't have to give you notice. They don't have to give you any reason as to why they
Man.
chose to uh relinquish you of a job.
Mm.
Like they don't have to give a reason. So it's just like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But for me,
Tread
and
lightly,
then on
y'all.
top of that, for me, it's kind of like you say these things, stand on it, homeboy.
But
You made those statements. Stand on what you
that
say,
was
because
my
at that point,
thing.
you're kind of showing that you're one, a coward. Two,
Hello.
um, not to say, you know, it's just the
Girl, say
actions
bless you.
show. Bless you, daddy. The actions show that one, you're a coward. Number one, because you're not even standing in your truth. You said these things,
Facts.
and this is what you truly believe. Number one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
That's what I was
and that
saying
and you're
earlier.
not real about it, because people will, and here's the thing about just people in general. People will respect you more for saying how you feel and backing your statement and being like, okay, yeah, I
Facts.
said that, and I believe it too. You feel me? But
Facts.
then you chose to backtrack and stuff, because now you see that it may potentially have a you may potentially have blowback from this, from saying these things to be to an audience. And it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, nah, fam, stand in your truth, Holmes. Stand in your truth.
But that's but
People
that's
would
what I was
respect you
saying
more
in the
for it.
bill.
That's why people are like, kind of like, okay, you're terrible for saying it, but at the same time, I'm sure there were people that was like, okay, I respect you for saying what you got to say, for speaking what's on your heart and mind. You feel me?
But you gonna jump in this line. I know that if you want to work again. But this is the one of the things that I had an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
He said all that and then it wasn't even 24 hours. It wasn't even like it was literally less than 24 hours. He had made that statement and he was right in the lines and I'm just like, But just yesterday, literally yesterday, you said this and you here now. That's why you can never rally with somebody like that to be like, oh yeah, that's my boy. Because, okay, of course, you can give somebody grace and stuff like that. But look what you just said. These people have been marching for what? This would be like 100+ days, right?
Right. It's over 100 days now.
Yeah, at this point. These people really need need people like you that are very vocal because apparently he's very vocal. You know what I'm
Vocal
saying?
and have a following and have some level of
Exactly.
notoriety to show their faces and be like, oh
Right.
yeah, da 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 da. Granted, of
Because
course, you
it's
at the same
different
time you have
people.
people that are like, oh, these rich people, and it's just like you kind of need the visibility
Nah,
of
but they
the well known celebs to push the
right.
cause. But okay,
Right.
why do you think
Cause my
anytime a disaster happens, they always have celebs at the forefront with
hmm
donations and stuff? Like,
right. Cause
but
my whole
okay,
thing,
Simon in the corner.
okay. Cause my whole thing was like you can be vocal and you can take a stance on something cool. However, make an impact in a way where it's positive and it sheds more light on the fact that this is a big problem. People aren't getting paid what they're supposed to be paid. They not trying to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's
They
like
aren't getting paid. Rihanna, pay me what you owe me.
it's just a lot of things. People talk about insurances, people talk about losing their homes because they supposed to be having having different gigs going on. And I get it. People depended on those checks. You know what I'm saying? And then you want me
Right.
to live then they my whole thing is, and this is like my personal opinion. Ain't nobody gotta agree with me, right? And this is no shade to nobody that lives in Cali. But if you know that it's super expensive, go somewhere else where it's a little low key. You know what I'm saying? You have the dollar bills to fly and do something for a little bit and do a little hotel stay or see if they can get you a little house that you can sit in while
Right.
you filming or whatever. Do a negotiation where these actors don't have to be paying out the butt for rent. You know what I'm saying? In some of these properties, maybe they need to cut down the prices on these houses because even
Granted,
regular people can't afford to live there
granted that
because
is
that's
a
ridiculous.
whole other topic
Yeah, that's a whole
involving
different thing.
corporate real estate and
It's just
Airbnbs and all this other stuff.
yeah, it's really
That is
expensive.
driving up the cost of housing.
But
Not to mention, of
they
course,
should
inflation.
that too. But they should negotiate with these actors, actresses, cast, crew, and beyond, people in front and behind the cameras. They need to write somewhere in these contracts that they are going to be providing housing. In some cases, people do get housing, they do get transportation, of the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? But you
Mm-hmm.
got to be that celebrity to get that kind of treatment. But it needs to be negotiated because not everybody is going to have the funds. Look at what they're doing
Right.
now. They
It's
haven't
just
even,
it's
they're
interesting because
offering
this
these
is.
people pennies.
Mm, but what
These
you're
people
saying
can't
is
afford to put
interesting because
cheese on a Whopper type situation.
ultimately, what that comes down to, truthfully, is this whole profit over everything mindset that has been
Yeah,
pervasive among these corporations. Because that's part of the reason why um, internships were so popularized. Because back in the day,
yeah,
they would pay for the training, on the job training,
yeah,
whether it be
yeah,
McDonald's, whatever, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
they would pay you while you were on the job. Then they introduced unpaid internships, which is basically volunteer work.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then there's no and that's part of the reason why I didn't take an internship out of college either, because
Right.
like really think about it. I'm basically working
For
five,
free.
6, 7, 8 hours a day for free. Can't pay my bills, can't pay my rent with your thoughts and prayers, or your promises of
Fact.
or your promises of work experience, because you
Yeah.
as the company, because let's think about it, if the shoe was on the other foot, I'm a corporation, right? And I have unpaid interns doing the job of
Hmm.
3 people, right? Let's say, and optimistically, because let's be real, in a lot of these businesses, whether it be corporations or not, they get one person to do 3 jobs. Why? Because to cut down on
Yeah.
costs, increase profits,
Yeah.
right? But let's say optimistically, you had 3 interns doing the job of 3 people. Why
Hmm.
am I going to then hire those 3 people, spend money to hire those 3 people, when I could just hire another 3 unpaid interns? Free money,
Hmm.
free labor.
Yeah.
But y'all want me, somebody with God given sense, to do that? Give my free labor, hard earned labor. Because let's be real, the price of somebody's mind is priceless, and knowledge is
Hmm.
priceless. So you want
Yeah.
me to get into your business, corporation, wherever, and give you free labor? Again, last I checked, slavery was 400 years ago. I ain't doing that. I am a free man, woman, free agent. Okay, you ain't gonna catch me doing no free labor. Pay me what you owe me.
Most people will sacrifice it and just do it because they know they need the experience. And without that experience, it's like us coming straight out of college and you trying to use your degree and they saying, oh, we're looking for somebody with 3+ years of experience. I personally feel like you know that a college student spent however many years in school, right? Whether it's 4, 2, 3, whatever. They earned their degree. They're coming to you to ask for a job because we're supposed to automatically get a job or get hired to do something. What makes you think I'm going to work for free? I have student
Not
loans to
to
pay back.
not to mention, sometimes they be asking for like 5 years work experience, right? I've been in college for
Mhm.
4 years with a bachelor's degree. Where the do you think I'm gonna get 5 years of work experience? Because prior to that, especially if we went to college straight out of high school, where am I gonna get that
Yeah,
job experience? Because why when I was sucking on a pacifier, like, dude, where do you think I'm gonna get that from?
right,
I'm gonna just pull it out my backside? Like,
right.
no, that's not happening.
And then it's kind of like they have this expectation of us, one, working the job that we want or gaining that experience while we're in school. Not a lot of students are afforded that luxury to be like, oh yeah, I got a job. And they can't you people it's doable, but something's going to fail. Whether it's the 9 to 5
Not to
that you have
mention, you
or
have
the
to have
the
the
the, the part-time that you
resources
have
to do
and
so.
studying. Exactly.
Because if
Then you
you're
gotta
trying
have
to
the money to
do,
put gas in your car.
if you're trying to, because let's say, and then on top of that, that depends on your major too. Because like, let's
Yeah.
say you're a science major. Them science classes are no joke. Okay, number one.
Man.
And then you expecting somebody to work a 9 to 5 to pay for books, housing,
Yeah.
whatever the case is, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, do an internship for free.
Mm.
When is that person going to have time for actual Rest. Rest when I'm dead. Rest when I'm 50 years old and can't even really enjoy the short time I have on this earth, because
Mm,
our lifetimes as human beings is quite short. Okay, it is limited.
hello?
So that's what y'all want me to do? Work until my last living breath? I think not. I was not put on this earth to just work, okay? Thank you very much. You can
Work
take
and
that
pay
back to the bank.
bills.
Thank you.
I don't think that's a. They need to start back doing paid internships so people have a fighting chance.
But
So people
that's the
actually
thing.
have a fighting
They
chance.
won't do that because that chips into their profits. Okay? Capitalism. Yay.
I what
It's
I
such a
will
wonderful
say
thing.
is that what I
And
will
greed.
say is that if anybody was looking into going into the hospitality program, right, for college, and they want to do anything, not everybody has a great experience with Disney doing their internship, but it is paid. Okay? They
Say what
work
you
you
want
like a
about Disney, but at
dog,
least
though.
say what you want about Disney, but at least they paying their interns. Because
They work you
there's
like a
so
dog,
many
though.
organizations and corporations that don't even pay their
Mhm.
interns, and it's just like.
Yeah. Disney pay
And the
theirs.
crazy part
They'll
about
work you
it
like
to
a dog
me,
and you get housing.
at least they're doing that much, you know.
Yeah.
Some places want some places want you to be an intern, but you don't really have a way to, they're not gonna want to pay you to relocate or anything like that.
Oh, yeah,
Even
they not
in a
doing that.
regular
Yeah, they
situ,
not doing
or
that.
even as a regular 9 to 5 job, they're not willing to
Mm.
pay for you to relocate. Not most companies are not
Right.
doing that. You better find those funds to relocate if they decide they want to give you
Right.
the job. You're gonna have to
Right.
figure it out,
Mhm. You are.
which
But
is just
yeah,
like,
man.
you know. But again, that's what happens when you have a culture that's profit over everything, profit over human life, profit over human safety,
Mhm.
profit
Yeah.
over everything. And that greed
Yeah.
will be the downfall of a lot of these corporations. We're seeing it now, again, to roll back to the original point. We're seeing it now with these corporations, these film studios. Their stocks are tanking. Their stocks are going
Mhm.
down.
Yeah.
Disney just lost like something like 11 million subscribers. Granted, that is due in part to them no longer airing cricket matches in uh, South and
Mhm.
Southeast Asia. Cricket is like the football of is the American football of that portion of the world. You feel me? Or like how soccer is for a majority of the world. It's a huge thing there. Bad
Yeah.
bad business decision on the part of Disney? Definitely. Totally,
Mhm.
right? But at the same time, people also unsubscribing because of this whole strike situation.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is what you're going to have. This is why a lot of this is why these corporations, because the thing is like too, is that the environment of the consumer has changed, right? The perspective of the consumer has changed. In the past, it was very much brand loyalty, all this other stuff, right? But
Mhm.
those people who had that buying power are elderly now,
Mhm.
or are well onto hospice care. You know, some of them, they are aging. They're no longer in that position to spend that kind of money just for brand loyalty. The people with the buying power aren't just looking into you as a company. Oh, Disney, da 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 da. Oh, awesome, Marvel. Oh, awesome, Fox. Oh,
Mhm.
awesome, Paramount. Blah blah blah, Peacock, whatever, CBS. People aren't just looking into that. They are also looking into the ethics of a business. That's why some brands have
Yep.
been canceled over their
Mm,
ethics, over their business practices. Are they using
yep.
what is essentially slave labor? People are using their dollars to speak to that. That is why your stocks are tanking, because it's kind of like you have created a situation. Because I know the bait some things. I know a lot of things about a lot of things, right? I know that what stocks are kind of based on is predictions of whether or not XYZ thing is going to be successful, right? They've
Mm,
now created a situation where it's uncertain for whether or not these businesses are going to have profit or not, or if their profits are going to sink. you you're the ones creating the situation. It's not the writers, it's not the actors, it's not SAG
right.
and WGA that's creating this environment. You are the ones that don't want to budge. You're the ones that want to put profit over everything, and as a result the
Mm,
consumers are speaking with their dollars. Not
yep.
to mention the other side of this, where it's like y'all keep producing and rehashing the same crap over and over again. We the consumers don't want to just see that same stuff over and over again, the same IP over and over again. Like, you heard about this
Yep.
situation where they were like, Mattel now, because of the success of Barbie, because it made over like well over 300 million or something like that. I think it was like five
I think
hundred mil,
close
I
to a
believe.
billion.
Right,
It's close to it. It's almost like close to a billion.
right. It made a ton of money. It well went
Mm,
over the cost to produce and market the film. It made back the cost in dividends, right? So now Mattel wants to now make movies about all their different other IPs. So like Uno and I don't know, whatever,
yeah.
whatever. And I'm just here
Yeah.
like, did one, first of all, that's not the
Who
lesson
asked for
to be
that?
had here. One, yeah, exactly. Two, who asked for that? Three, did y'all not learn from the freaking terrible Battleship movie that failed?
They didn't.
Clearly you didn't learn your
They
lesson.
didn't.
Or again, do y'all not realize that the success of Barbie is not so much because of the Barbie label on it, it's more so about the actual story of the movie.
And
You're
also,
lost in the sauce.
I think it had a lot to do with, of course, the nostalgia and everything surrounding Barbie, but also the celebrities in the movie. That was jam packed, star study. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
But and then
Which
that's also
helped.
another but then that's also another issue as well, because people are starting to get tired of the same celebrities being in these movies as well too. That's something
Facts.
that you also have to take into consideration.
Hmm.
Back in the day in the 90s, people were going to see a movie just because Brad Pitt was in it, just because Tom Cruise was in it, or the myriad number of celebrities that were popping at the time. People were going to
Hmm.
see a movie just because XYZ person was in it. Not
Hmm.
And that has changed. Now people are going to see a
Yeah.
movie because it looks like a good movie. Like, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be touch your heart. It's going to do this, it's going to do that. It's a good story.
Hmm.
You feel me? People aren't just going to see a movie just because XYZ big name celebrity is in it. Aren't there people that are still out there seeing a movie just because XYZ big name celebrity is in it? Of course, because but the vast majority of people are spending their coins for a good show, for a good story. That's part of the reason why The Flash
Yeah.
failed.
Oh, girl. No.
Which
First of all, wait, wait. Before you go on, the Flash didn't fail. The
the
Flash,
Flash failed because, again, it's reused IP and the story wasn't good. Nobody was
and
trying to go.
also, but
Let's keep it 100. Nobody was trying to go see Ezra Miller. Let's be for real.
and that's
The
what I
draw
was
was
gonna
not Ezra
say.
Miller.
That really tanked because of him. That man is supposed to be in jail.
From what he allegedly did and said, Uh, mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be doing some time, bro. But let we finna leave it alone. We finna leave it alone. Next. But
But
I think one of the things that these companies have to realize is that their profit came from the little people. Without the help of the little people getting all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying, and investing in we literally their ticket sales are what we've invested in. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
The Marvel films, the Disney films, all of that stuff is because our parents, us, you know what I'm saying? All these people have purchased tickets, which then translate into y'all making bank. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if people didn't do streaming services anymore and it dwindled down to just Blockbuster and getting DVDs out the lug, vending machine at the supermarket for Netflix.
Redbox.
There we go. Redbox. You know what I'm saying? Then how would their money be looking? Their money would be looking funny.
Which sidebar. Apparently, Netflix is supposed to be stopping their DVD service now. I saw an article yesterday that was like, oh, if you're still subscribed to Netflix's DVD program, they'll be sending out because they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to. I guess they're trying to get rid of like
I
dead stock or
noticed.
whatever. They're gonna be shipping out to
Mm-hmm.
people randomly from their list of movies or films or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. They're gonna be mailing out the DVDs to people for them to keep as an anniversary thing, I guess, because they're shutting
Aw.
it down. They're supposed to be shutting down their DVD rental portion of their company, and I'm just like, I'm kind of like, I'm over here like, y'all do realize that your funds are not the best right now because their stocks have tanked too. So, and streaming has not been great for them lately. So it's kind of like, is that the best? Is that the best move, Netflix? I don't know if that's the best move.
I mean, that's the only thing that they could do
Cause
right
like,
now because you got to
I
think
know you
about if they can
probably not
afford to keep that
making.
business, that part of the business running.
That's what I was
You
gonna
got to
say.
think about that.
I'm sure they probably don't have as many people subscribe to that anymore. But at the same time, it's kind of like Netflix. Y'all might need a backup plan just in case everything goes awry. Because what
Right.
happens if y'all can't get the views anymore? Because especially with y'all changing the whole password sharing thing, I'm just saying y'all
I
might
mean,
not be. And then on top of that, your stocks ain't doing too well right now. I'm gonna need y'all to get it together,
listen,
Netflix, because I need my K drama fix. Okay.
I just feel like all these companies are getting hit hard until they get it together and come up and listen to what these people want. If you just listen to what they want and meet the demands, I'm pretty sure these people are not asking for a lot, and that is the problem. It's like you trying to get them just like pennies and
And
be
that's
like,
the
okay,
crazy
take
part.
that. We're declining your offer, but we're gonna give you this one. And then they reject it and they're like, okay, I don't know what we're gonna do. These mugs finna still be striking to next year if at this point.
Right, and then that's the crazy part is like how they're using media outlets to spin the story as if it's the fault of the strikers and stuff, and it's kind of like just pay
Right.
the people what they're worth. That's all they're asking for, and it's not like they're asking for like 50% of profits. They're two, two, 2%, a teeny tiny
Mm,
minuscule amount in comparison to the
yeah,
billions. That's billions with a B. Billions of dollars y'all make per year.
yeah.
They only want 2% of that to pay their
And that's why
people.
I'm saying they're literally asking for very little. They're literally
And in
asking for
addition to
very
that,
little.
asking for protections against AI and all this other stuff. You feel me?
Yes.
And having the, like, for example, because I saw a tweet about it the other day, like in the case of WGA, um, minimum number of writers in a writer's room, and I
Oh
understand that because
yeah.
it's like to help, because because post pandemic they shrunk down all those things, right? So that they basically
Mhm.
have a skeleton crew of people. When
Mhm.
writers rooms used to, prior to the pandemic, writers rooms used to
Huge.
be quite large. So they want to,
Yeah.
if we're, and I feel them on that. If we gonna since y'all trying to get back to normal, y'all might as well just go full Monty and go back to normal, to the way it was before. But I get it.
Mhm.
It's cause greed and money and all this other stuff. They got the cartoon dollar signs in their eyes, right?
Yeah.
They realize, oh, if we work with just these skeleton crews, that we can make more money. We can squeeze more money, more profits out of it. But at the same time, you're overworking your crews. Number one. Number
Yeah.
two, you overwork your crews, because we see it in every industry that is overworked like that and burnt out. We see a reduction in quality of work. Okay, period, point blank. That's just a fact.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
overwork anybody in any particular industry, you're gonna see a reduction in quality. That's why it's not the fault of the writers that we're getting here movies,
Facts.
because one, they're overworked. Two, they don't make the decision as to what is going to be in the final product. That's the result of the execs and whomever else.
Mhm.
That's the ones that are, those are the people that are saying, okay, I want this, that, and the third. That's why you get garbage like The Idol. That's how you get garbage like that. Okay? Because you have people that are speaking on it that have possibly never even written a work in a day in their life. Not saying that that's necessarily the case in that particular situation, but just in general, like,
Child.
you know, because I don't know the
All
whole
I'ma
story. I don't
say.
know all the tea about that, but
All I'ma
you
say is
know,
I'm pretty sure it would have been better off without the weekend. Cause
yeah, because from what I hear, it was basic.
we're go
Because I watched I watched Kenny JD's full review
for
on The
real.
Idol. I watched the whole thing. It was entertaining. Okay, shout out to your
Oh
girl.
my gosh.
Okay, Kendall, if you see this, holla at your girls.
Whatever.
Um, but um, I
It was
watched the
terrible.
entire review video, and she was basically was like, "Oh yeah, it's basically like an entire, it's a garbage story, and it's just a circle jerk for the showrunner,
Circle jerk. It's crazy.
and the weekend basically, and
Uh
that
huh.
and that is basically a really long 10-hour the weekend music
Oh my
video. And
gosh.
I when she said that, I was dying. I'm just like, yo,
Oh my
Kendall, at it,
gosh.
back at it again with the shenanigans. But again, like, that's that's how you end when you have these skeleton crews. That's how you end up with a less than stellar byproduct. And
Yeah.
while we're on the topic, um, this goes out to the animation studios, because y'all in this too. Y'all on the BS too, because y'all be outsourcing y'all animations to these animation studios and then want a severe turnaround, a short turnaround. Stop doing that, because that's why your products, stop doing it, please. That and the VFX artists, because I've been seeing some stuff about the VFX artists. Can Marvel, I'm talking to you. Can y'all not? Can y'all stop, please? Por favor. Because that's why people are complaining about the CGI in these Marvel movies and Marvel
Mm.
shows, because they are pushing for CGI effects for a particular scene sometimes, and it's just like they want it to be like a flat rate. Like, I saw somebody who's in the industry with the VFX industry speaking on it, tweeting about it, and he was like, they'll put in a bid, right? Companies like Marvel, yeah, I'm calling you out. We love you, but we're
Come
calling
on,
you.
girl.
I'm calling you out anyway. they
Lord.
will basically give a bid for to myriad of companies, right? And then those companies will bid on X amount of shots or whatever. But the issue with that is that some shots will be more complicated to CGI. There's more steps
Mm,
involved, but they're basically doing it at a flat rate. So X amount of shots for X amount of money, but it's just like it varies from complexity from shot to shot. So then you have these VFX workers trying to complete this task in X amount of time as if it were all just one simple thing to do in each of those shots that they're assigned to do. So then you have them overworking to try
mm,
and fit into that time frame, that allotted time frame that that particular studio has assigned them, even though realistically it should take them a little bit longer because they have those more complicated scenes to CGI in, right? And it's like,
mm.
so basically, y'all really not paying mugs what they're worth all across the board.
They're not. They not. They not.
So I can't blame people for striking again all across the board. And if VFX doesn't
Look.
have a union, they need to get one. If animation doesn't have a union, they need to get one. Y'all need to join. Everybody in the industry need to join up and like the Avengers and
Yeah, that's why
get what
that's
you're
why
worth.
you see that's why you see it's more than just the writers. You know what I mean? It's people from every single department. They striking too. Because it's like these mugs need to get paid and we also need to get paid.
And not only
Or
that,
you're not gonna
without
have the good
these
quality you're not
people,
gonna have those you're not gonna have the good quality that you're looking for. Nah, nah, it's
but
cool,
like,
but
and
it's that's why it's important that this strike is happening. So people can like fully be aware, hey, maybe I need to go and get my money too.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
at the end of the day, everybody needs to get paid. Everybody wants to get paid. We get it. Y'all
Yeah.
big CEOs making 27 million a year for sitting on your backside. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Bob. Bob, what is it? Bob Iger, CEO of Disney.
Yeah.
This is sitting on your ass.
But my
I,
thing
I wish I could
is
get paid
like
27 mil just to sit on my backside doing nothing and making dumb
but
decisions. I'm sorry, I'm
but
sounding
my
real
whole
aggressive.
thing
Just
is like without these people that's making your movies and your shows and all this stuff
mm-hmm.
pop, this is in front and behind the camera and behind the scenes. All of these people are working to help make you money. And that is what people need to understand. There is value in these people. These people love what they do. Don't manipulate people because now
Cause
you playing and Hollywood will crumble right before our very eyes if they don't negotiate and do what they need to do for these people. Because, like I told you in the last video that we did, and we were talking about the strike, one of those videos, what they're going to start doing is coming to little production companies and saying, hey, these people didn't meet my demands. I know that I can do XYZ. I got the funds to do whatever, whatever, whether it's a distribution
which
company
we already see
or
happening with
small
A24
studio.
and all these indie
Hello.
studios. We already
And
see it
that's what I was
happening.
going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. And it's going to work in their favor time and time again. It's going to continuously keep working in their favor. And guess what's going to happen with A24? Mark my words, people.
They gonna blow up.
A24, exactly.
Cause
A24 is
they're
going to
giving
be
quality. They were known for horror films,
exactly.
and they were given quality. They are branching out now.
They're
They are no
supposed to be
longer doing
doing a
just horror
musical.
films.
They're supposed to be doing a musical, and it's supposed to feature our girl, my girl, the hot girl, Meg the Stallion.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And
I saw
it's
that the
supposed to
trailer for
be
that. Yeah,
really good. It's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be really fun. I'm tuning in. I don't know about nobody else, but I'm tuning in. Okay?
Right.
But if you really pay attention to the moves that certain small businesses and small production companies and distribution companies, what they are doing, you'll be like, ooh, okay, what is Disney going to do? Because what if somebody creates a little cartoon film and Disney wanted it and they said, nah, we finna go over here
Right.
to Hugin's production company. We got the funds. We just want to use her company to put her out there, to put her business out there.
Or not only that,
That's
she's
making you
actually gonna meet
money.
meet my demands, what I want from it, and
Exactly.
she's going to respect my vision, because we see that a lot with these
Exactly.
companies. When a script is sold to them or IP is sold to them, they don't
Mm,
respect the vision of the person who wrote the script. And it's kind
right.
of like, and that's why I was such, case in point, that's exactly why um Henry Cavill left The Witcher. Why?
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everybody on the internet knows how big of a nerd this man
yeah,
is. He's handsome and he's a nerd, okay?
yeah,
Holla at your boy. Anyway, we know that he's a huge nerd, and he has literally read the
yeah,
Witcher series, the actual books
yeah.
that the games are based off of. And he was like, he has a respect for the original IP, for the original story. But
Mm,
them at Netflix weren't having it. You're going to see people start to move away from these major studios and move towards, you're going to start see people moving away from these major studios and going to the same to the small, to the little guy, because the little
mm,
guy is more likely to respect the vision that they have for that
yeah.
thing. Because again, let's say I decide I wrote a story and I want my representation. I wrote a story, a film with a black female protagonist. Some of these
Right.
major studios might want to swap out that black female protagonist, even though it's important to me. If I were to sell the rights to that, they might very well decide, oh, let me replace it with a different race, person of a different race. Even though the
Yeah.
story could, it's very much steeped in black culture, very much steeped in black
Mm,
isms, so to speak,
mm,
that is not present in other cultures. It's a culturally significant film. If I wrote something like that, you
mm.
understand what I'm saying? Especially after a lot of these studios have fired their diversity and inclusion uh uh professionals that were in those positions. You feel me?
Four of
They're
them.
like, a bunch of studios did that recently. So, you have that part of it that's
Yeah,
like a thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. But that's why it's so important for small businesses. Like, again, like I was saying, they're never going to meet um the strikers expectations. And what's going to happen is mugs are going to start going to these smaller companies and their needs are going to be met. And they're going to be like, oh, well, let me tell my folks over here that were
Mm-hmm.
at Paramount to come over here because they
Right.
meeting the demands. They're going above and beyond to make sure this comes out
And they're
the
giving us
way
the
that I
respect that
saw it.
we deserve.
Exactly. Full creative control.
Right.
We hope that you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn that post notification bell so that that way you are notified every time that we post. Hit your girls up on our socials. It's in the description box below. Comment your favorite part of this whole discussion in the comment section,
And
and
chime
we
in with
gonna
your
holler at
own
y'all.
opinion too. Feel free to do that. We do read all the
Mm-hmm.
comments, okay?
Period. And we gonna holler at y'all in the next video. Peace.
Peace.